is a Cosmic Octave original podcast.
Me and Jake running down the street with a handful of comic books, kicking ass and banging chicks and drinking booze
No, not
and
me.
smoking
Not
weed.
me. I'm married.
Yeah, well,
I'm married.
Jake.
Can't do that.
Yeah. Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.
That's right, everybody.
So right before we get on the show, he asked me this like quantum. I'm Tyler. That's Jake.
I've phrased it
He
poorly.
asked me like this quantum physics question, like something that like the guy from
I was
Quantum
literally
Leap would-
asking if you wanted to play the whole intro or if you just wanted to start at the end.
Oh,
I said, do we start at the
Dr.
beginning?
Samuel
or do we
Beckett
But the way I said it was
was
like
in it.
a movie. It was like, do we start at the
Experiment.
beginning?
He was lost in time.
Tyler, listen. Do you start at the beginning?
His only help is his friend.
Listen to
Al.
me, damn it.
He's trying to find his way
Tyler,
home.
this is profound.
Okay.
Do you start at the beginning or do you start at the end?
Do
And
you
then-
start at the beginning?
So what did you respond with?
We already
Well-
sang. Have we swore?
Oh, yeah, I did.
For those of you, you
'Cause
did?
You wouldn't stop fucking talking.
Oh, okay.
As
Those of
per
you,
usual.
those of you who've never listened to Off Panel, Off Topic, I'm Tyler and that's Jake again. But
No way.
yeah, but we have a bet with each other every week because we've gotten a lot of criticisms.
From ourselves. Because nobody listens to the show.
We've criticized each other about how much we sing and swear.
No, we do on the YouTube clips.
Yeah, we've
we
gotten
do.
like, you guys would be better if you didn't sing and swear so much.
Well, fuck you.
Yeah, that's our response.
Fuck you.
Fuck you, asshole.
Jesus, we're not even 2 minutes in.
Oh.
Also, if you're religious, I was blasphemous there too.
What?
My goodness, because I said the Lord's name in vain. Jesus Christo.
Is that making a snorting noise? Is that blasphemous?
I'm thinking Jesus should shorten his name to Jess.
Hey.
Jess Christ.
Hey,
Think how
what up, hey?
How smooth is that roll out of your tongue, though?
I'm talking about
Jess Christ.
the
Think about
the Spanish pronunciation, Jesus,
Where are we going?
and so we're just calling him hey. What up, hey?
All right,
Hey, hey.
Hey, let's get serious.
All right,
We got a big old episode.
let's get serious.
Oh,
Let's get serious.
if you have fun, get the fuck out. So, hey,
Is that a baseball? Get out of my house. All right.
we got a jam-packed episode. We had to pause because Cooper was trying to get out.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm fine with it. We're only 2 minutes into the episode. We sang and swore and blasphemed.
No,
and
so
the dog has interrupted the recording. So
well, he
we've
gets
hit all the bingos.
so we keep the door closed at the top of the stairs. And generally Cooper comes down here and lays around and sleeps and just hangs out. And then like about usually right before the last segment, he's like, I got to go outside. Always.
I've humored
And
it long
today
enough.
Today he was just like, I need to go upstairs now.
He heard the singing.
He heard the singing.
And he was just like, damn it, I don't have...
Fuck. Well, we're
Cut.
fucked. We're fucked.
Start the
No,
show
no,
over.
we're gonna keep going through this because this is the type of shit that shows you we're live.
All right, we're talking... We got some...
It's just recorded live.
in our heads.
We
DCU and MCU news.
mm-hmm.
We got Creature Commandos.
Mhm.
We got Absolute Wonder Woman #3.
Yeah.
And then I got a treat. So we're going to be talking about Critical Drinker's short film. Well, pilot, short film, whatever the hell you want to call
It's
it.
kinda
It's
treat.
42 minutes.
It's kind of treat where you're like, oh, you said there would be candy, and they give you a bowl full of like
I'm a little
hard
upset.
candies that are raw
I'm a little
out of the wrappers. They're all stuck together. It's a
bummed
couple
out.
hairs.
It's on Critical Drinker's show or channel, so I have to give him another view. That does bother me.
Yeah.
But I did watch it.
I only
spent that time.
watched the trailer just to get enough to say, "Fuck you, buddy."
This is what happens on Between Miss, where we're in the holiday season, where it's between Christmas and New Year's. It's this weird time where, oddly, not a lot of stuff comes out, and then some stuff comes out. It's like a weird thing. I don't know why we do
Oh,
this
we
to
totally
ourselves.
missed Craven.
Why are we working, America? Why are we working from December 25th
It's our New Year's episode. Do we
January
have any
1st?
Opatties? Do we have any Opatties?
The Opatas?
Or are they going to be next week?
Jesus. The Opatas.
The Opatties.
Well, they don't do well. View-wise. Nothing really does well view-wise. But
For those of you
I don't
not
think
in
I've watched-
the off-panel, off-topic awards
can't even
show.
remember fully what I've watched this year. You know what I mean?
It's been a rough year.
Because you and I haven't really been in the movies, didn't go to the movies a ton. And then I've been mostly watching shows, but I've been mostly playing video games.
We were just talking.
too.
We were just talking about how I don't do a lot. Like not like I suck, but just how I just haven't.
You're gonna make the categories?
Why don't you give me a week, and next week we'll do some potties. I'll see what I can do. I'll come up with some stuff.
The potties.
Potties. Because I feel like we should do
third annual
a final year type of thing. Year end. Because we're not doing it right. We're not going to do it this year or this show.
This is business as usual.
Mm-hmm. Even though New Year's Day is 2 days away.
By the way, a few days ago, we did a live show from the North Pole, if you remember, on Christmas Eve.
I don't remember that, but okay.
Yeah, we were there, man.
Really?
We were live, dude. You don't remember?
No.
Candy Cane Lane?
Wow.
Don't remember any of that. All right. Well.
Must have been hammered.
Well, it was definitely live for the elves.
Especially when you whipped your dick out, Tyler.
Live on stage. No,
I said I was hammered.
After the end of the show, we played.
Much
your
better.
song. I put your song at the end.
Oh yeah. No, I'm totally kidding. I would never do that.
Whip your dick out on stage.
No.
Yeah, that's a good call.
Just in general.
Good policy. What are we? Nobody is listening to this show anymore. What do you want to talk about first?
Well, I thought we were talking about
whipping a dick. Can you start over?
Let's do our what's in my mouth. What a fucking segue. Boom, shicka boom, shicka boom. Some chords during
What's in my mouth? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey, what's in my mouth? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey, what's in my mouth? Everybody knows what I'm talking about. I said, hey,
Yeah.
What's it taste like? Salty or sweet?
We don't know. I never noticed that before. We don't know.
That's one of those things. If you turn it up like all the way up, as the song fades out, you hear cool shit.
Oh my gosh. Well, I don't want to.
When I was a little kid,
kid,
no,
I'm kidding. It's a great song.
that's
I love
yeah.
it.
Oh, thanks.
Dude, this was an outro song for a long time. That's how much I
That's
like
true.
this.
Yeah, but no. God, how long does it go?
As long as it needs to. Anyways, what do you got in your hands there, buddy? God, I realize the context of that. I'm talking about the food in his hand, everybody.
I don't know why, but what do you got in your hands there, buddy?
Hey, pal, what you eating?
Cheetos
You
Puffs,
fat bitch.
cheese pizza flavored.
What? Say that again for the audience. at home.
Cheetos Puffs, cheese pizza flavored. Connect. Oh, there's no. See what I? Okay, because social media now, the
Oh.
backs are of the bags are like connect, and it's like Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram, and it's like, I like it when the bag of chips was like talking to you. Like we have
What do you
something.
mean? What?
We have
Like
something.
you're having a
We
conversation?
have something for next week, and this one talks to you. This one says, "Hey."
I want to be clear.
This is what
there's
you're
not
getting
like a
into.
speaker or anything. It's just he means like
No, there's
just
like stuff on the
questions.
back.
There's-
Oh, fucking
yeah.
whatever. Okay.
I know. I'm just having some fun.
Cheese pizza flavored
The
Cheetos.
cheese
Puffs.
pizza puff Cheeto, by the way. That's the big distinction because you couldn't have done this with a crunch.
With a crunch, man. 'Cause are you out of
You gotta
the
do-
design team at Frito-Lay? Are you out of in the name of Little Caesars?
Terry?
What do you expect?
Terry, respectfully, this is a shit ton of cheese, and you're gonna need a puff to do that. All right? There's not enough surface area on the crunch to put this much fucking cheese on it, Terry. I don't know what.
Maybe a ruffle.
But goddamn it, Cheetos just makes the most sense, Terry. In the name of Little Caesars. Hold on.
I'm talking about chip integrity, Terry.
That's not structurally sound, Terry.
You want your chip to fall out of your hand, Terry?
What the fuck? It just tastes like a cheap Cheeto. It's like this tastes like a dollar store Cheeto. You know what I mean? Like there's nothing special about it.
It doesn't. I mean, there's a mild like tomatoey kind of thing to it.
It's not gross, but it's not like. It just feels like, again, these gimmicky flavors are like fan stuff, which is weird to say.
Yeah.
The fact that like we have
Vote for.
I'm a fan of Cheetos.
Do you like Cheetos?
But like, you know, everything has like a flavor. Like you vote for the flavor you want.
Yeah. Well, Lay's have done that for a while.
Yeah.
And I've always said.
I want to make a soapbox because you and I were talking about it before the show.
Uh-huh.
I said
We should have a chip.
if I were
soapbox
ever
every
president, I would mandate that Frito-Lay and all of them. That's the only one I think of because corporations. But all chips that are made in the U.S. of A. If you're gonna have a gimmicky flavor, you gotta have grab-go bags. Because you just got gypped, man. You like it's an okay Cheeto. It's not gonna be something you're gonna eat, and I know you're gonna leave it here, and I'm gonna eat it someday.
That's right.
But you know what I mean? It's just not worth it.
No.
It's not worth it.
No. And
All of them had to be grab and goes, man. They had to be grab bags, and then if you like, or at least some sort of tasting program. You know what I mean?
here's tasting program.
Every gas station in America will have free samplings of cheese pizza flavored Cheetos.
The economy is crumbling, Mr. President. I don't give a shit.
Listen to me, America. I want you to
Focus on important
listen,
issues.
Tyler.
Yep.
I want my voters to be one issue Cheeto voters. All right. It's fucking chip integrity, Terry.
Chip integrity. What
Can we
we
make a
need?
t-shirt
What we
that
need?
says
What
chip
we,
integrity?
what we need to realize is that Frito-Lay is a bunch of pussies. Okay. They are a bunch of
They could have given us little tiny.
whiny babies. They don't know what to do.
Go ahead.
Here, they're all.
I have something to say.
They're all like. Hey, how about Funyun flavored
ass.
chips? Or Cheeto flavored chips.
This is booty sweat flavored.
Or
onions.
Cool Ranch flavored Ruffles. Or Cool Ranch flavored Lay's. Or Dorito flavored Lay's. Hey,
Yeah.
hey, you want? Why don't you get? Hey,
Couple things.
I'm
Couple
not.
things.
Hang on, let me finish.
Oh my.
Why don't you little babies grow up and start taking some real chances? I want a Funyun flavored Cheeto. I want a Cool Ranch flavored Funyun. Damn it.
And that's the America I want.
I want a sour cream and onion Cheeto puff. And that's exactly why I'm running for president, America.
Oh, fuck you.
Yeah, that's why I'm not running for president. But you know what I'm saying? Like, stop with the nonsense. I don't want a chip that's flavored like another chip or something. I want ranch fucking Cheetos, and I fucking want them now.
Hey,
Wow.
don't stab the Cheeto bag.
Chip integrity, Terry.
Yeah, I would have given him points. Because you know how sometimes they do shapes? I would have given him points if they made little pizzas.
You know what fucks real hard? Is those they come out they come out in the holiday season.
What, Terry?
But the white cheddar Cheetos snowflakes, dude, those fuck, dude. Those
Welcome
slap
to our
real
new
hard.
podcast,
They
Chip
slap real
It
hard.
In with Terry.
I'm the supervisor at the Arapahoe County Frito-Lay warehouse. My name is Terry O'Shaughnessy.
What?
That doesn't mean list, you
I like the Broncos.
I'm not doing it.
I work in Arapahoe County.
Doing
My name is Terry. Thank you for having me on your show.
You killed the bit. So
Terry killed the bet. You can't shut up.
Terry killed Chester.
Terry
got
killed
a-
Chester.
That's the podcast studio.
Dude,
It's
I'm
just a
writing that.
throw rug of
I'm
Chester
writing that.
Cheetah.
Yeah, I'm right. No, starts off
Write this.
high
write
noon.
this.
High noon
Write this right
in
now.
a western town. Chester Cheetah, and Terry O'Shaughnessy, manager of the Arapahoe County Frito-Lay warehouse.
But when does he start a podcast?
No, they have a showdown, and he ends up killing Chester Cheetah, making him into a rug by the end of it.
Does he eat him?
If he wants to.
Does Chester Cheetah bleed blood, or does he bleed cheese?
He bleeds cheese and he tastes like meat. That's a song. He bleeds cheese.
Always
and he
give
tastes
Family
like
Guy props for that fucking
What?
joke of him snorting Cheeto dust. Chester Cheetah.
Oh, yeah.
It ain't easy being cheesy. It's a good joke.
I've
I'm gonna give
snorted
this,
some shit.
Nice. Very middle of the road. Very middle of the road. Doesn't blow me away.
Wow.
Not terrible.
Wow.
$1 million,
Oh, is this
bitch.
all of it?
No, pick your fucking rating, man. That's why I gave it to you.
Where's the one that says, oh, yeah, hang on.
Oh, fuck you.
Listen, man, you're gonna come at me with a whole bunch of nonsense, and listen, man, I'm a consumer.
Listen, man. I'm
I'm a
listening.
I'm a consumer. I'm a
You-
sucker
you love
for
gimmicks.
brand new fucking packaging and brand new colors and brand new flavors. And you know damn well that I'm gonna fucking buy that shit every time I see that shit, whether it's good or not. And fuck you for putting out a shit ass product and making me buy it because you knew it was shit ass. It was shit ass then, and it's shit ass now. Shame on you, you shit ass.
Wow.
That's
All right.
that's what I'm gonna start calling everybody.
You shit ass.
You shit ass.
What in the name of little
What?
Caesars? They're gonna sue us.
Who?
Stop saying her name. So we got some news, T-Bird.
Mm.
We got some interesting things to talk about today.
I want to talk about stuff.
I don't want to talk to you about this stuff.
You do want to
Oh,
talk
wait, I
to
am.
me?
So we have some
about that
MCU
stuff.
and DCU.
That
news.
is-
So we're gonna mix it up this week.
Okay.
We're gonna talk about these things, and then we're gonna segue into Creature Commandos out of it. So, without further ado, let's talk about some MCU news.
Okay.
So we just saw, or you just watched, because it came out like weirdly on a Sunday because we're in between miss. The first trailer of Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, the animated show. We also have a release date of it being January 29th, I think. Or
Looks really-
26th.
Gotta tell you, weirdly enough, have a lot of connections to the phrase "Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man." When I was a little kid, there was a show called Electric Company, and they had Spider-Man. It was a live-action Spider-Man, and his chief foe was this guy on a wall costume named the Wall. Okay,
Wow.
it was pretty low, but it was pretty low. You know what I mean? Like nobody was watching it looking for continuity errors. You know what I mean? Like there was not.
Yeah.
It was more just a guy in a Spider-Man outfit, right? But he referred to himself a lot, and on the TV show as Your Friendly Neighborhood Spider-Man, and on Amazing Spider-Man, Spider-Man and His Amazing Friends. I love that phrase, and I would use it to describe myself as Your Friendly Neighborhood T-Bird a lot. And that is how I ended up with The Amazing T-Bird as my stage name.
Well, there you go. Well, so this is the
I know
first
you're like,
this is the
Wha-
first
so
time
why
we
don't
actually
you call
saw
yourself
anything of it.
Your Friendly Neighborhood T-Bird? I'm like, well, it's
You
too
know, what is
long.
that? That's too long.
So stole a different Spider-Man thing.
Yeah. So
Come at me,
I like
Disney
this
Plus.
animation style a lot. It's
Yeah,
very
awesome.
much like 3D pop art.
It
with
looks
the
like
shading.
50s style comic
Yeah,
art,
very
or
much-
60s,
yeah,
which is cool.
And they're kind of playing that up because this is kind of showing because this was originally going to be Spider-Man freshman year, which was going to be tied to the MCU. I don't even know if they had Holland attached at that point yet, but the whole thing was it was going to be attached to the MCU.
That's what I
And-
thought.
But now it's kind of its own thing,
It
in
should
my
be.
understanding, and that's okay. I'm fine with that. Because I think what Feige's thought is like, okay, we've introduced the multiverse, so that just kind of frees us up to do whatever we want, and you don't have to do the James Gunn approach of you have to have Tom Holland in there and you have to do a certain way. I think that's totally fine. Some
You have
people
to have a script.
Some people were commenting about different things. I don't want to talk about the chudness of it because we're gonna get enough chud content later. But
Chud later.
some of the criticisms are like, "Well, it's not tied to the MCU, so why even bother?" I'm like, that's such a limited.
X-Men '97 isn't tied to the MCU, and it was fucking awesome.
Newsflash, buddy, all of it's tied to the MCU now. They have said it's all.
Sure.
Kevin Feige said it's all canon.
That's fine,
That's
but
what he said.
I don't know about you, but I watched. I didn't finish the first season because I just had other stuff to watch. But I did start watching Legion, and that has nothing to do with the MCU whatsoever.
That's still when it was a Fox thing.
There's plenty of people who loved and still enjoy very much Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., and that has been confirmed as one of the multiverses in the MCU.
Funny you say that because I'm rereading the Gary Dugan. Is it Gary? I think it's Gary. It might be Jerry. The Dugan Brian Posehn.
Yeah, you showed me.
Deadpool run.
Yeah.
And it's so of its time. I think this one I was reading was like 2014 was when it was coming out. 2013, 2014. And Agent Coulson shows up in the book and is like a big piece of it. I'm like, man, what a early MCU thing that they kind of just tossed away as it got more into what they were doing. So again, that's what I mean. This is not new of them. Everybody talks about, and I think after Endgame, MCU has been all over the place. But the first few years weren't as nice as when you and I have talked about it. Like they remember Coulson was a thing. They did Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. and it just kind of disappeared into nothing, and nobody cared.
Well, there's been
nobody cared.
there's been a thing going on around social media where it's like pictures of all the female characters they've introduced in the last 2 or 3 years. And it says like, "Oh, Disney's lost this much on MCU. Anybody care?" And it's just like,
well, and there's people whining.
Do you really think that it's the gender of the characters that's that? I mean, really? Because that's really, really cheap and terrible. Like, can you give me something better? Like the content hasn't been super great. Look, for what it's worth. The Marvels is not a movie that I'm going to rewatch a lot, except for that last part.
I think,
except for the end credit stinger,
I'm
because
excited.
it's cool.
I'm excited to. It's interesting in tone because, like I said, you were asking me, is it for kids? Or I'm like, I'm not really sure. I definitely feel like it's trying to strike the movies tone and the other Disney Plus shows precedence of it's like as a PG-13, because he says like. This dumbass in a costume.
You're a
like,
dumbass.
when he says dumbass, I'm like, well, that's definitely like PG-13 territory. And so I guess it'd be like TV-14 or whatever. Or maybe TV-PG. I don't know. But point is, it's not going to be like a hard edge, but it's also maybe not going to necessarily be for kids. It's kind of that in-between. I'm sure there's people on the online and pissed because Norman's black. I don't fucking care. As a longtime Spider-Man fan, I just don't give a shit. Because you know what? This is going to happen because at a certain point, you're trying to get people engaged with this property. It's been around for 80 fucking years. So at some point, you're going to be like, all right, well, we're going to race swap these characters. And I don't, look, on a bigger, we've talked about this ad nauseum on this. I don't care that Norman's black, but I can see the idea of like, hey, maybe we should try doing more original ideas than just taking characters and doing these things, changing the race. Because I'm like, I see the side of it that it seems like it's a little bit pandering because it's Disney, and it strikes a real strange tone because there's this black Norman character that they're going to stand firm behind, but then they can't stand behind a trans character that they made for a show and eliminated it and had a whole thing about, we think that should be between the mom and dad, the parents. And I'm like, AKA you're pussies is what you're saying.
Yeah, I mean you're gonna cater to whatever.
My whole point is, I think there's a fair argument to say on one side of it, be like, I think it's silly to race swap. We should just try and focus on more original ideas. That's fair.
Sure,
but do you ever fucking watch it? No, you don't. You just watch it because it has Spider-Man on the title.
I don't think
because that's the argument, right? Nobody ever watches original shit anymore anyway. Everybody, you're going to watch the Spider-Man thing over something original. So don't give me that argument. But I can see the whole pandering shit because it seems a little weird. It's like, okay, we're making a black Norman, whatever. But it's just like, That's what I mean. At some point, they're like, we have to find ways to make this new and interesting to longtime people. That's really all it is. And to pander.
That's fine, and sure, and that's a little bit of it too. But we've talked about it on this show before about how, when I was growing up, as a white person, I never had any issues with representation. I never went into the store and looked at the action figures and was like, "Where's the one that looks like me?" or "Where's the one that that I relate to?" Whatever. And when you're a kid, maybe it wasn't on my mind because I'm a kid. But
it's the innocence.
when you see the effect that representation has on small children, you're like, okay, well, wait, now I get it, and I'm okay with it. And here's what the thing is, like, I've heard that argument so many times, like, well, I'll come up with an original character. I'm like, well, because Norman Osborn is better than any other villain other than Doc Ock, really.
Yeah.
And if that's what you want to do to further representation and equality, I'm okay with it.
And
I don't think there's ever going to be a time when I'm upset with race swapping a fictional character.
It does. This
I don't think that would make me upset either way.
It doesn't impact the show at all for me. Like, having Norman Osborn be black doesn't matter at all to me. And if that does matter to you,
the animation
that says
style
more
kind
about
of
you.
kind of reminds me of the animation style, and with Norman's telltale hair, the interesting, like, the comic book hair that they
the
give
wavy,
him.
weird
The wavy
thing,
reminds me of Giancarlo Esposito.
I would love to see him as Norman. That'd be cool.
I can't wait to see the Captain America.
Oh yeah, with him as the villain. That's coming up in Feb.
Sidewinder. Finally getting the Serpent Society, and I'm okay. I'll say this right now because I know this is what's going to happen. I'm okay if the Serpent Society ends up being a bunch of normal or maybe, a little bit powered people with cool, like, snake nicknames, like assassins. Because in the comic books, they're very colorful. They're almost circus-like. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Well,
like,
it's just comics, yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, I know they've leaned more into the comic bookness of it lately, but I totally get. There's one.
There's certain
there's
things
one of them
on a page
named
aren't going to work on screen. Yeah.
I can't remember her full name. Anaconda, and she is literally just like a large woman with, like, huge, like, you know what I mean, like
a snake person.
Yeah,
right?
but she wraps up.
Yeah.
And
big arms
chokes.
And squeezes them to death.
Yeah. But she looks like, if you tried to translate that from comic book to
some things
screen,
don't always
you'd be
work.
like,
I'm interested to see where this goes as a show. It looks fun, and like I said, Norman Osborn, as a longtime Spider-Man fan, as just being a normal person as well, him being black doesn't deter me from watching the show at all.
No,
doesn't mean like, oh well, I can't because my Norman's white, guys.
Yeah,
hey, they're fake. They're not real people, guys. They're made up. Stan Lee and Steve Ditko just fucking winged it and made these characters up one day.
Mm-hmm.
So let's not freak out when they are different.
Yes,
race,
I
silly.
can't see. Here's the thing: I can't see any reason that I would be upset about any of that, and I believe that there is good that comes from when they do this, when they race swap a character. I believe that encourages more kids to see themselves in these characters and in these stories, and I'm okay with that. And I'll always be okay with that. And I just can't see any reason where I'd be like, what? A black Santa Claus? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what?
Yeah.
Why are you so upset? Like, what? And also, by the way, I know we already started off the whole show kind of being whatever, but Jesus was black. I mean, sorry, guys.
Well, I mean, there's no way. He's in the Middle East.
Middle East, yeah.
He's at the very least.
He's at least brown.
Yeah, at the very least. Some other quick hits of news for the MCU. Charlie Cox was like posting a workout video.
Uh-huh.
You might hear Mike's on. No, probably not. He's too far away. The mics won't catch him. He was posting a workout thing on Instagram, and there was like some sort of.
When is that coming out?
Doomsday? Avengers Doomsday? Oh no, Daredevil's coming out in March.
Oh, thank God. I thought it
No,
was like
but-
November
sorry,
or some
I,
shit.
I fucking buried the lead.
You're okay.
So there's some sort of person that was sleuthing around on this post that thinks that this post leaks that Daredevil is going to show up in Avengers Doomsday. At this point, I'm trying to figure out what the fuck this movie is because Chris Evans is returning to the MCU to be in Avengers Doomsday. So what is going on? Seriously though, what? You know what this reeks of? I think two things. Fear and desperation. I think Kevin Feige's getting a little nervous at what James Gunn is going to start doing with the MCU or the DCU because it's new. And yes, there is a little bit like I was talking to my wife about it. People that aren't like us, you and I, they do kind of feel the fatigue. And they didn't get the hype as much as we did with Superman.
Oh, dude.
So but I think that like that still exists, but I think a lot of people saw that trailer. It was like one of the most viewed trailers. Like it had over 250 million views on YouTube. Like it was crazy. And so people there, and I think Feige's getting a little worried because of how much interest is in that Superman movie and what he's gonna do. Because DC, for a lot of, there are some people that are kind of not really into superheroes as much anymore. But I think for a wider audience that isn't us, that new Superman trailer was exciting. And that was like, okay, maybe DC is going in the right direction. Instead of trying to be the grimdark shit, we're going to lean into the more fun side because it's what we should have always been doing. But anyway, especially with Superman. At least with Superman. And I think Feige's getting a little nervous, so he's like, well, let's fucking get Chris Evans back. We already got RDJ back.
We've talked about him. Never mind that Chris Evans has already been back.
Well, I mean, like, MCU proper.
Oh,
Deadpool and Wolverine is an MCU movie, but it's the least MCU movie.
You're the least MCU movie.
It's a Fox.
Fuck.
It's them literally killing off the Fox universe.
Oh.
So I mean, I mean, like him coming back in this capacity, not like a joke thing, like cameo that Johnny Storm was. I'm saying like at this, are we just gonna make the original 6 the villains? Is that what we're gonna do? Like, is this just another multiverse thing where instead of Iron Man in this world, he becomes Doctor Doom? And then what happens with Captain America? Who does he become? Is he what, like fucking? Is he the agent of Hydra? Like, is he working for like? What is the purpose of? First of all, we've already talked about it. Bringing RDJ back reeked of desperation. Now it really feels like you are trying desperately to get the people that were invested back. And I just don't see it happening. And that's okay, Disney. That's okay, Marvel. You should have just looked, and I get it. And so
just continue with the stories.
I'm going with it.
Oh no.
Oh no, yeah. But like, I thought you were talking about me. I'm like, no, I got a point. I'm getting there.
Yeah, fucking what the fuck?
You should have just accepted that Endgame was just, that is the peak. We're never going to ever reach that again. But now you are at the point where you have raised the stakes constantly with bloated budgets for all of these projects. People don't fucking care anymore. You saturated the market so much that most people that aren't you and me don't care. And so now you're trying to get them back by bringing in faces you know, but they're not playing the characters you know.
Wait, so Chris Evans is not coming back?
Well, I don't know about him, but we know RDJ is at least. I don't know about Chris Evans. I don't know what his role is. Maybe he's a different Cap. I don't know. But it fucking sucks. It just sucks, man. And am I willing to go in with an open mind when the movie comes out? And obviously I want to you and I have talked about it. I want superhero movies especially to be good because I love superhero movies.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go in with an open mind and hope it's good. But it's got a fucking uphill battle. And I get that because of all the stuff with Jonathan Majors, you had to change a whole bunch of shit.
Right.
And do all that. And I get that. But nobody is making you release unless it's Bob Iger specifically.
Right.
Nobody is making you do this shit.
I still think
at this time frame. Give people time.
I still think that they're shooting for a total soft reboot after Battle World or what is
Secret Wars.
Yeah.
Absolutely, that's what they're doing now. And they're going to just blow it all up and start over.
Yeah, and I'm totally fucking okay with that.
Do that, but take like, I don't know, a 5 or 6 year break and just And I get it, you got to make money, you're capitalists. And you gotta keep
Yeah,
that.
see, that's not going to work.
Listen to me. Listen.
We have these properties.
Time out.
We're never not going
Tyler,
to try
stop.
to make money off of them.
Iger, shush. Listen to me here.
We have stockholders.
Unless you do what you do with Star Wars and build up your brand on Disney Plus, which I think you probably should do, or after you've blown it all to bits, take some time off and release it. Maybe build it back up through Disney Plus, like they're trying to do with Star Wars. I don't know when we'll ever fucking see an actual theatrical Star Wars thing ever. Or that stupid ass Mandalorian movie. I want to be we're getting off topic.
No.
No, it's the same principle.
I don't believe you.
It's the same principle, though. You've saturated it so much. Even with Star Wars, I'm like, take a fucking break.
Yeah, yeah.
I forget when this shit. We do this podcast.
Mhm.
You would think.
Mhm.
I mean, if we got paid, I'd probably be on top of it. But
Yeah.
we should know when these things come out. I don't know. Do you know What If came out? Season 3 of What If just dropped.
I did know that.
All of last week. I didn't fucking know that.
I didn't either.
You know why? Because I don't give a shit anymore. I'm sorry, I don't. Because you ruined that. Because you made that about a fucking team up. Because you're stupid, Marvel. You got to make everything a fucking team up.
Yeah, see that
The bit that I'm not gonna. I'm sorry. If you want to watch it,
if
we
you
can,
had hang on. If you had done specifically What If you had done like, hey, this season they're all gonna team up by the end.
That's it.
And then that's it.
Yes.
And then start over the next season, I would have been okay with that.
Stop trying to make me care about Captain Carter. Please, for the love of God, give her own show or whatever. Stop dedicating time for her in this show. I would be cool if they were like, let's just do a completely. That would be fun. If we're like, okay, let's do an alternate timeline Captain Carter animated show, do a couple seasons. That'd be awesome. Get the fuck out of this show. And now she is a part of the Exiles, which is the new team that's coming into this season with What If from the clips that I've seen.
So
and every fucking shot of a multiverse that they show in that clip that I saw, it was like, that would have been better to see than this shit I'm seeing now. Every fucking shot they showed. They showed Deadpool killing the Marvel Universe. It was like, oh, that comic line, that would have been cool. And they showed this. I'm like, it's better than the fucking shit I'm seeing on screen.
So the Exiles was
Sorry, this got off topic.
kind of a way for Marvel to be like, hey, Claremont, here's a bone. And after he got, well, it wasn't right afterwards, but it was a way for, but Claremont wrote it, I should say. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But Exiles was a comic book, and what the premise was is that it was all these different multiversal versions of, I think, I can't remember which character, but one character. And then, like, throughout the series, these other characters, like, that's the whole series is them going from timeline to timeline. And I can't remember what they're doing, but I've always really enjoyed that series.
Yeah. Sorry to get on that diatribe. It's like, it's a weird mix.
So they're making an Exiles cartoon,
I'm sure
or
they're spinning it
it's
off.
on What If Season 3?
I'll be clear. This isn't my review of it because I haven't actually watched it.
Me neither.
I don't even know if I will at this point because
Why?
this is the last season, and it's just like I was so underwhelmed by those 2 seasons that I was just like,
The animation style was so cool.
the episodes suck though. It's like, why did you pick that fucking story? Like, and it's like, and it's like, oh, what if a fucking Ant-Man killed the Avengers? I'm like, what?
Yeah, what is that?
That was stupid as
That was
shit.
dumb as shit.
There's so many bad ones. And then they take the best ones and constantly drill them into my brain, and I'm like,
Yeah,
thanks-
and now
thanks for this.
here comes a Marvel Zombies television series. Why?
It's just like, it's the duality of man. I'm excited about that Spider-Man show because it's interesting and new, and then I look at that fucking What If show, and I think
It shows.
especially because of how good X-Men 97 was as well.
Mhm.
It's like I don't like you.
It shows. Yeah. It
He's better
shows-
than you.
It shows a couple things. It shows to me that Marvel and Disney are still doing the reactionary shit.
Yep.
And that is why they are going to ultimately. Right now, they're not going. Their content is not going to be as good because of that. It might be some fun fan service, but that's why DC, despite the fact that it's like you greenlit a Clayface movie. But then he's like, well, I'm going to greenlight any movie that has a script.
So who wrote this script? Yeah, I'm gonna pull that up. But yeah,
But
that's strange.
I mean, clearly he doesn't. He said like this is phase 1, gods and monsters or whatever, but I don't know what that means. I mean, clearly he's got Superman and
because Clayface,
Creature
and there must be
Commandos
something,
and Clayface.
because
at
Clayface
least.
shows up in Creature Commandos in this current episode we're going to be reviewing here in a minute. But yeah, I think we can get like, and then sorry to go on the tangent. If you like What If, good for you. But it isn't what I wanted. And what I really wanted was the Tales of the Crypt, like Twilight Zone, what those comics were, the Freak of the Week, like. What if Spider-Man didn't get bit by the spider? You know,
like the fucking comic
stop
books.
connecting everything.
What if what if Steve Rogers hadn't given up being Captain America? Like those fucking books.
And those are there are some good examples, like that Captain Carter episode, but it loses it being special, and that Doctor Strange episode when he crushes the whole universe. Like those were interesting, cool episodes, and they lose their impact when they're constantly.
Because then they brought this
used.
Doctor Strange back, and like,
they
oh
show him again in
Jesus,
this. And it's like, sucks balls. Anyway, DCU news before we get into Creature Commandos. I just wanted to touch on those the Avengers getting the Chris Evans thing because we didn't talk about that, and I was like, "Hey, did you remember we missed this?" And you're like, "Hey, what the hell?"
Hey,
so
what the
DCU
hell?
news, we're recording it on Monday, December 30th.
Oh,
As we're recording this, this morning, Jason Momoa announced to the world on Instagram that he will in fact be returning to DC in a role he should have been playing in the first place as Lobo in Supergirl,
the
World
main
of Tomorrow.
man, the Bastitch,
At this point,
the main man.
I want to give a shout out to a YouTuber, Journey Through Cinema Talks. He had a video that came out recently about like who killed the DCEU. Like that's the whole discussion. He was talking about this of like the constant problem that or some of the problems that he saw a lot of with Snyder's stuff. Which he's totally right about, which was the thing of like the stunt casting.
Yeah.
Jason Momoa should it's not even like, again, it's just a natural fit. Momoa himself in an interview said, if DC offers me the role, I'll take it. Because he's like, duh. He like points to himself like, I look like fucking Lobo, you know? And then, he posted about that on Instagram to be like, I called it. Like, he's like, yeah, I'm fucking doing it. And you and I, all of us nerds were like, he's going to be Lobo. When he was like, oh, I just talked to James Gunn. He's like, a role I've always wanted. And I'm like, he's going to be Lobo.
Yeah.
And then it's made
Hey,
official.
Jason, can you ride a motorcycle? Cool.
Dude, he's going to be so perfect for Lobo. Are you shitting me? Again, they did that, but they tried to make it Aquaman. And I'm like, why are you making dude bro Aquaman? Dude bro should be Lobo. You know? Jason Momoa is dude bro who Lobo.
Dude bro isn't really Lobo, but okay. Lobo's just a sociopathic nut.
Yeah, he's
fucking
a fucking
crazy.
lunatic. I love him.
Yeah, it's awesome.
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 And Momoa is charismatic. He's funny. He'll be perfect for Lobo. And it is kind of crazy. It's looping around of like obvious shit you should have done. And James Gunn is just like, oh yeah, that. Because it really was. Because there's interviews of it. There's evidence of Zack Snyder. We've talked about Zack Snyder, the way he talks about these characters. And it's like, why would you think that was ever a good idea? Because you're already playing catch up, but then to hitch your wagon to a guy that is constantly deconstructing it, that's fine. It can be done. We've seen it, you know?
Yeah.
But it's not, when you make Superman snap a guy's neck, which I still think is a good ending in a way that, like, I understand in the context of what he's, like, the situation, he had to do it, whatever. But you still made Superman kill someone at some level. And there's just... While he nailed some aspects of Superman, there's so much other shit that they fucked up completely. And Batman versus Superman, all that shit was just a reactionary shit, Tyler. It was all reactionary shit because they had to catch up to Marvel. And that's why it sucked ass, because none of it made sense.
Man of Steel was a fresh take. I don't agree at all with you making Superman snap some. I mean, there's a different way out of that, you fucker. Anyway, I don't agree with that. And then the second movie you do is Batman versus Superman? What? First of all, you're just going to introduce this Batman. I mean, it was all just like, we got to do this. We got to, and then let's rush Justice League and not let him do it the right way. And I mean, ultimately, who gives a shit? Because overall, Zack Snyder is like, I really liked these comics growing up, but what I would have really liked them to be like is like this. Well, then make up your own fucking shit like Rebel Moon. Ooh. Wow.
Yeah, and again,
can you be more Star Wars without being Star Wars?
There are
Rebel Moon.
There are aspects,
spaceships.
There are aspects of the Snyderverse that I really liked, and a lot of it I didn't. A lot that I didn't. And I'm just saying, like, these are just some examples of James Gunn, like, again, someone who has clear reverence for this universe and clear love for this universe, and you can see how important this is to him.
Yeah.
And I say that, and then he announces a Clayface movie, and then I'm like, okay, what's going on here? So yeah,
it is Phase 1, Gods and Monsters.
It does get announced. It was greenlit, but the reasoning for it, James Gunn did make clear on Twitter, because someone asked. He's like, okay, so Clayface is the third DCU film. Why didn't you choose someone more prominent like The Flash or Wonder Woman? I get the... Yeah, makes sense. And then James Gunn responds, because the number one rule here at DC, no movie will be greenlit before the script is ready, and Flanagan's script was ready. And as for The Flash, we're holding a beat on development. I did not know he said that, but right there is what I've been saying to literally what I just said about Marvel. Take a fucking beat, dude. I get it. You got to generate billions and billions and billions of dollars, but guess what? How can you keep trying to do that if you're constantly releasing shit nobody wants to watch?
Mm-hmm.
And I get Clayface is a big ask for general public, but at the same time, if it's delivered well enough,
right?
Dude,
well, isn't it like this horror guy or something?
A movie about the Joker with no Batman in it made made over $1 billion. And I'm not saying Clayface is the level of Joker, but I'm saying it can be done. You know what I mean? And
we'll see what they come up with. Isn't it like an up and coming horror guy or something like that?
Yeah, if I remember, he does some horror stuff. Yeah. But that answer alone made me okay with it, because that makes me go, okay. So he's saying this guy got done. He had this idea. We're gonna run with it. Okay, let's do that. Like, I love the idea of him taking that aspect of, like, we cannot do this shit until it's done. Because how many times have you heard stories about, like, not just Marvel, but I'll just use them because obviously DC Marvel comparisons is just going to happen. I remember reading about stories and seeing things about, like, Iron Man 2 constantly having to rewrite the script while filming.
Mm-hmm.
Every movie rewrites the script during filming. I get that. But I'm pretty sure they said, like, the script wasn't even finished and they started filming. And I'm like, does not surprise me at all. Like, given how these movies had been shuffled out on an assembly line, I feel.
And that's why Iron Man 2 sucks. Hard.
It's just
you have so much potential in that movie, and it just sucks.
Because they're trying to set up all the Avengers shit, and they're too focused. Like, the whole
wasted Sam Rockwell, wasted Mickey Rourke, just wasted.
So it's interesting what they're going to do with Clayface, which obviously they're not going to do the comedic approach that they did with Harley Quinn.
No.
Because Clayface makes an appearance in the first episode. Oh my gosh, 49 minutes in. We're going to be talking about Creature Commandos, episode 5.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. So
glad we're not.
5 is focusing on Frankenstein. And, continuing the main narrative.
First things first is, Frankenstein is a total sociopath.
I love it. He's so good.
But he creates so many unexpected moments of hilarity. Like when the students are walking by, they all stop, and he's like, "Oh, help, friend.
Oh, my God, dude.
You're helping me find my contact lens." And they just keep walking, and Flag's just like, holy shit.
But he goes... Well, they wouldn't have suspected anything.
Yeah.
And it's just, It's so good. Like,
We're
and that's why I'm like saying,
we're totally glossing over the
It's the
pretend professor who's like, you're forgetting
the lesbians.
Yeah, which is just like, what is going on?
Yeah. Then that's when Flag was like, did that seem like a fucking professor to you? Didn't seem weird? What? I think she was great. But I cackled at the contact, but I cackled, and I'm like, son of a bitch, James. I want just a Rick Flag and Frankenstein team up show. That's all I want now. Buddy cop show. I'm such a sucker for that shit. Because when he talks to the fucking bride and he talks to, or was it the princess or the bride?
Yeah. Did
Flag
you tell her that we're best friends?
Did you tell her that I've
changed? Did you tell her
changed?
that I'm here? That I'm cool? I'm cool now.
And he hangs up and he goes, "You didn't tell her how cool I am."
So I read up on it and
so good, dude.
looked
David
up some
Harbour.
articles.
I love him and everything.
David Harbour and Frank Grillo actually recorded all of their lines together.
Oh, okay.
Which is not typical.
Which is why their chemistry is so good in this episode.
Right,
Yeah,
and because he was like, I just want that to happen. Now, also in the same article, it was made clear we don't know for sure if any of these characters are going to appear in live action. Now,
so they could just be
James
animated.
Gunn
Okay.
said, I'm going to need voice actors who can be called on to play these characters in live action if necessary. So at present, David Harbour has no plans to be Frankenstein in any live action projects. As far as I know, the bride is the only one, and Rick Flag Sr. And Rick Flag Sr. is supposed to be a lot. Nick Fury is not the right thing.
Yeah.
Because Nick Fury got, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But Rick Flag Sr. is going to be in the beginning of the DCU the connective tissue that brings everything, that shows up a lot. He shows up a lot in everything. And he was told that when he took the role. He's like, hey, I'm going to have you do a lot, so it's like, that's cool.
Yeah.
He's in Peacemaker season 2. He's in Superman. So yeah, but yeah.
Well, yeah, and it makes and because the whole point of that too, I think, was connecting that dot as well, because that's why. Yeah, you're gonna have Rick Flag be a part of this stuff and connect around. I wonder if he. Yeah, I think that's probably where we're going. I think Waller, because there's gonna be a Waller show at some point. That's what was planned. I don't know what they're gonna do. So, I mean, is it gonna be like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D.? Is it gonna be like Spies? What are we doing? I don't know. It could be good if it's like. Anyway, I don't know if I'm gonna like it. I could see him being like the team guy. I could see him being running all the, but we'll see. I think Frank.
No, he's
episode,
like the Sam Jackson that just shows up in everything. Like,
Yeah.
hey, there's
Rick
fucking
Flag Sr. He's the connected dot.
kind of.
I want to see more of David Harbour's Frankenstein because he's
I do
fucking.
too. He's
This is
hilarious.
the brilliance of the show.
I still have the shotgun. Don't tempt me, woman.
It's the brilliance
That part
of
was awesome.
the show.
When he's with the blind lady.
You forget that he's a murdering sociopath, and you fall in love with him because he's this big, lovable fucking moron. And then you're like, oh, wait, no, he's just crazy. And
Oh, yeah, you just fucking brought that giant heavy iron pot down on that lady's head and killed her.
for no reason other than, I won't let you be alone. I'll just kill you. Because he does also say in this episode, he says, I don't feel anything when I kill people. Like
No,
he
I mean,
said,
why should he?
Or when I kill things, because he said I killed the beast out there and I didn't feel anything. I just pulled the trigger and I didn't think about it. And of course, yeah, he's a living corpse. Why would he have any reverence?
The part in the previous episode where he's freaking out because he thinks the helicopter guys are making fun of him because he can't grow hair on his face. That shit fucking tore me up, dude.
No,
that
the one
was
I
funny
cackled
as
at
shit.
the hardest when Rick Flag is dying, or what we think is him dying, right? And he goes, "Well, Rick, you can't die yet. You have to tell her how cool I am." Rick, could you just say it?
Yeah.
Can you just say I'm cool?
Yeah. Yeah, that his whole arc in that episode.
fucking wild. So he runs into
And then we're also seeing the fucking creature commandos get to Kolostan and then being found out.
Oh my god!
So during that episode, they're just going crazy
That
trying to
sequence-
escape.
when it starts with Dr. Foster's punching that guy's head off, I was like, Jesus! It's like, god damn. And then I just like that whole fight sequence is really fun.
Yeah.
And you're getting to see the team actually kick ass. And I got my wish. Phosphorus is the next episode, by the way.
You got your wish what?
Or not my wish. I'm like next week is the one I thought this week I really liked, but this past episode I really liked. But next week is Dr. Phosphorus episode, so that'll be fun. But no, he was great in this, dude. When he fucking strips naked and walks through the fucking tank and has the double birds and it burns through.
I think he just stood still and they drove through.
Yeah, he
him.
went but he went like he let out more radiation, I think, to like burn it more. Or
I
something.
don't know. It was
But-
fun.
Like he powered up a little, and then he just fucking
Burned
his middle
finger right through it. Yeah, awesome.
And then the bride had some like the whole sequences were wild. What was it? I'm trying to think of some of the cool shit the bride did.
She was on that like jetpack thing.
Oh yeah, then did like the spinning thing and just ba 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 ba. I also like the where it's being cut with Frick Flag and Frankenstein figuring out that the fake professor was Clayface because the real professor is dead in her home.
And they're trying to sneak out while he's playing
Video games.
Mortal Kombat.
And of course, because WB owns it. So as he's working his way out, he gets found. He was Rick Flag and catches him and grabs Frankenstein and they're fighting, and the whole sequence is great because it's like, okay, so we're gonna try and build him up, and I really think it's interesting that James Gunn is going to be doing two things at once because you have the whole gods and monsters thing where he's gonna lean into the bright hope and fun of Superman, but we're also gonna have like a Clayface like this that's like legitimately scary, and this the creature commandos were like, if they ever found a way to do Dr. Phosphorus in real like live action, that'd be fucking horrifying. Like him just burning people like that. Oh my god, it's already horrifying in this show now.
Oh yeah, it's.
But like that whole sequence was awesome because
Yeah.
as someone who's claustrophobic, that was awful to watch. I hated it because it was just like them just squeezing the life out of him. Like, oh, it was awful. But
What?
Clayface.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
So when he finally breaks through, that was amazing too. Him like touching the bolt to get or touching the outlet to get electrocuted.
Well,
And
he
it
broke through and just grabbed the fucking.
ripped the thing off the wall so he could electrocute himself. And the best part is like he's like, it's so nice to him because it's Frankenstein. So he's just like, as his, like Clayface explodes. And if you've read comic, Clayface is gonna put himself back together.
Of course.
You never get rid of fucking Clayface. It's like actual.
Well, the
clay.
original Clayface was a legitimate disguise artist, like expert.
And then
Just a
Was
dude
it the
with
cartoon?
disguises.
that made it more.
I'm talking about the comics.
No, I mean
There's been like eight Clayfaces in the
I was
comics.
gonna say because I thought like
I think he's Clayface 3 or 2, but the first guy was just a guy with disguises, and then the last two they've been
Shapeshifters.
they're metahumans who've been
They're-
turned into clay.
because
Like
you gotta have your
shit.
shapeshifters. You gotta have those.
You got a shapeshifter in your
The name
house.
of Little Caesars, you will have a shapeshifter.
You will have a shapeshifter by Christmas, or else my name is not Little Caesar Johnson. Terry. Hey, welcome back to Off Panel Off Topic. It's time to talk about some comic books.
Comic books.
Let's talk about some comic books today.
Read some panels and speech bubbles, captions too. It's
Hey.
a comic panel.
Sometimes there's an editor's note. What is your problem? Why? You're so good.
I fucked up the theme.
I understand, but you don't have to.
Break
You're
the
so
equipment.
good. No, you're just good.
Thanks.
Stop treating yourself.
Absolute Wonder Woman.
Stop treating yourself like a punk. Absolute Wonder Woman number 3. Because you're not. I've said before, and we've talked about this. I like this. I think I still like this one better than the other ones. Overall,
It's tough.
the first page we open up with their, they've heavily used in this book the media as kind of a filter in the story a little bit.
Well, it's the like, average Joe's
The
perspective.
first show,
The
the
audience
first
perspective.
show, the first issue opens up with the two guys, with the two news reporters on the top of the roof looking at the thing. So they're looking at it and they're like, "Where's Barbara? I can't believe," and she comes up and she's like, "Wonder Woman," and she runs away and everybody's
I
like,
said
"What's going
Barbara
on?"
Gordon, but I know it's not.
Yeah.
Also, can I just talk about the fucking paneling of this book? Drives me crazy. I love it. I love the paneling of this book. The art's great, but the paneling, to me, like, I'm popping the P there. The paneling, like, seems to be the thing that, like, really stands out to me of, like, what sets this apart. I think the art itself is amazing, but like the fucking thing that you're looking at, the fact that they took. She's telling the
Greek
backstory
vase
of
the tetracide.
Yeah, she's telling about the tetracide and using that as like a way to panel the story. Like, that's such an I'd never seen something like that before. And I think I understand where you're coming from, where I think this book continues to show me things that I haven't seen before, I feel like. Or something that, like, and it also has the benefit that I haven't read a ton of Wonder Woman books. You know what I
Me
mean?
neither. But so she comes back to the soldiers and she's telling them, like, "Hey, you got to go, but this is what happens." And it emits a sound that makes them come running, and basically the humans can't do anything but
It's
go.
death
And,
by 4 ways.
well, I'm not going to get into all that.
Well,
It
just say what
emits
they are.
It emits a sound. It will be loud and sharp. It will travel for miles. When people hear that sound, they will be drawn to it like bees to honey. They will do anything to be with that sound. They will walk right into the tetracide's jaws, where one dies in agony, a death of mind, body, and soul. And yeah, just
I
look.
was just saying, you could do death of mind, body, and soul. Is the thing.
So she goes out and she's trying to fight it, and she's telling Pegasus, "Hey, I can't have you resurrected again." So she, keep your distance. She comes up and she has this giant fucking anime sword, which is awesome. And she slunks it into the hide, and then she wraps around the lasso that she had.
I like that she tries to re-engage with it, and it just screams at her, and she's like,
Yeah.
"Well, so be it."
All right, fucker.
Throws the sword into it.
And so she goes and she wraps it around, and the thing takes the knife out, so the lasso's falling. She drops the knife. She brings out this big fucking axe, which is awesome.
That was awesome.
Starts taking out tentacles, and her right arm gets wrapped by a tentacle,
She
and
just yells no.
and she goes, "No," and then
title card,
title card.
title page.
Now this is like 8 pages in, man.
Excuse me.
So at first you're kind of like, I wonder what's going on. And so we go to, I think you turned me all the way down. Yeah, I'm on
Shit,
1.
I meant to. I was trying to turn my mic down because I was
Fucking
coughing.
jerk.
God damn. All right, so I wanted to talk about that. I love this is one of the things that I really like about modern comics, and I've said this a lot, of how why I maybe not have liked the older comics. Like, if I were to go back and read, it's of its time, it's much more wordy. These are written like TV. They're written like movies. Like, because that is a fucking brilliant...
Look at the parallel between this page and that page.
of like the vase,
paneling.
of what's but and then when you go to the next page, it's just like we'll be watching it on TV. Like, boom, we're into
Yeah.
the main intro. Like,
Yeah.
it's so well plotted, and that this like, I will tell you again,
She clearly can fly on her own, too.
yeah, it's hard because I really, really like what Snyder's doing with Absolute Batman, but dude, this is just such a well-paced book because we get backstory now. Because then when you come back, you're like, oh, we're back to talking about her story with Steve and how she's getting him out of hell. And where you don't think like, okay, well, we're like, it is trying to slow the action down and slow the story down a little bit, right? And give you more backstory. But it also gives you such an interesting backstory on her arm. You go through this whole thing of like, what?
Well, first, you're
I don't wanna
getting
no,
the
we're
cart
getting-
before the horse. First things
She
first
figures
is that
out how to send him back.
Right,
Steve.
but we don't know anything. All we know is that it wraps around her right arm, and it's like, whoa, and she goes,
sorry,
no,
yes.
and then there's, and you're like, oh,
the
so
payoff to that is
we
great.
come back to when she's with Steve in hell, and they're basically she's telling the Hydra like, hey, you can't have him, and he's telling her like, she's yelling at the Hydra.
It's parallel to what she was doing earlier with
A little
the,
bit,
with
and
the tetracide.
so there's a moment with the two of them, and they're just talking and getting to know each other, and he says like, could it really understand you? Like things listen to you, like animals listen to you. And
Yeah.
it's interesting, and he tells her about his home, and
about that, she does say, I don't know if they always understand, but they understand dominance. So like it shows what she was doing. It's her tactics are similar. Like, oh, well, I'm gonna tell this thing what's up while I'm forcing it into the ground, being like, I'm gonna fuck you up. Leave him alone. Yeah. Anyway.
and she she's been reading her books, and she shows Cersei. It's dumb.
Thanks, James.
Fuck her. She tells Cersei like, hey, I found this spell that'll send him back, and she's like, no, it's a sacrifice. You didn't understand it. I understand it perfectly.
Well, yeah, she's just trying to say like this isn't something small. Like this is a high. Essentially, what it said is a sacrifice of a high order or something like that. So that's when Diana gets the idea to cut off her dominant arm, because it's the dominant arm of a warrior, which she feels would be a great sacrifice or a high sacrifice or whatever term you want to use. But
I couldn't stop thinking about what I am to be. If I am a great warrior and will someday be an even greater one, a savior of humanity, as you say, then I cannot fail in my first mission for humanity. Mission to return to them one of their great heroes. One good man is all it takes to save the world. He wasn't a gift mother, he was a test. And that I am a great warrior, then the dominant arm of a great warrior is a worthy sacrifice.
And then it switches to Cersei's perspective. And she, like, the writing of her as a mother with Diana is some of my favorite parts of the book, which shows you how much of a parent and sentimental I am. But it's my favorite parts of the book because it really is the audience, and it makes you fall. You feel that pride that you fall in love with Diana. You feel that pride that her mom has.
Yeah.
When she's like, I finally see, like, I'm seeing it live and in person of what she can be. I'm like, everything that I believed in is, coming to fruition. And I'm seeing her love. And that's what gets me. It keeps striking me. Because earlier she talks about love is transformative.
Mm-hmm.
And that has always been one of the carrying themes of Diana. That's what's made her so special. And what made Wonder Woman the special character was her dedication and love of humanity. And yeah, like the moments where Cersei is being a parent and being proud of her kid, again, for me in my life, fucking hit chords. I'm like, damn. And so like when she's fighting and winning and thing, I'm like, fuck yeah, Diana. Like it's so effective because it makes you want to root for her. You know what I mean?
So
like you are so prideful of like oh my god, she committed to saving this one person.
Yeah, they send him back. She didn't get to say goodbye, but she's like, I'm sure I'll see him again. Then they come back to the present time, and she basically just gets rid of her arm because it's a magic arm anyway.
Yeah, so she lets the beast take her arm. So
she can fly away. And she's
pulls-
like, she's like, okay, well, I have to do something. She puts on a fake arm.
Yeah, it's like
Steve starts understanding what it
she
was,
gave up to get him.
but he's like, I don't care because it was worth it.
Again, another great moment of classic Wonder Woman, but also having that extra thing of like yes, it was a sacrifice, but she never doubted it. She knew she was so, and that's another thing that makes her so much better. She was so absolute in her belief of him.
Mm-hmm.
See what I did there? She would give up her arm so he could have another chance. Like, that's so fucking powerful, And then this book right here, in Snyder's book, is why I fucking love reading comic books, man. Like, this is the shit I love.
So she is like, hey, everybody in the military, like, get the fuck out of here. Get out. You need to go.
Yeah, everybody needs to leave. This thing, like, you're all gonna be clawing and attacking each other. 'cause this
She
thing's gonna make you
runs
go
into
crazy.
Barbara Minerva, and they talk.
Who's that? Cheetah.
And she's like, Wonder Woman. And she's like, Wonder Woman? She's like, well, that's what they call the champion, the Amazons.
Yeah, the myth. And she goes,
And
myth.
Yeah, so they talk, and I'm okay. So, well, I must go. We will speak on this more. Barbara Minerva, and I am Diana. I'm in the book. I do not know what that means, but I will find out. So she goes, and she's like, this is futile. I will break upon the tetracite and die. You know, what do I do? And she comes up with an idea, and you're not sure what it is. And she goes and grabs the camera dudes, the TV news guys, and they're like, oh, shit. She's like, I'm going to need your assistance. And this is so awesome. This is not.
I mean, it doesn't come off a little preachy to you. No, I'm kidding.
This is not for recording, gentlemen. Can I ask why? Of course, it's mostly because I want people to be afraid. New things are often scary. The other reason is because magic is sacred, and not everyone has earned the responsibility to wield it. That was a pretty good answer. Yeah, it really was. So she goes and she says, like, look, I need you to help me. I need
you're
you.
broadcasting to all these people.
I need you to all. You all need to do the same thing, or else this won't work. You all need to take care of each other while this is happening.
And she says, she ends it with, Wonder Woman believes in you. Like, I believe in you. And yeah, she kind of lays it out like, I am Diana, and I'm gonna make everybody deaf. I'm gonna cast a spell to like put a essentially puts like a cone of silence around the city.
Not real. Yes and no.
But you know what I
she
mean.
Says, Wonder Woman believes in you, and she tries
She
to
says play that on a loop.
And the end is her trying to make it. So I'm excited for the next one because I think it's going to be like one of those silent books.
Yeah,
you know, like
there's
the G.I. Joe silent issue.
Yeah, there's no dialogue.
But
Or maybe
just
just
the
thought
way
bubble.
she tells everything and everything. Will you put it back in the bag and board, please, so I can keep moving? Fuck you too.
Fuck you, Dylan.
Fuck you, Dylan. But the way she talks and the way she looks
Dylan
and everything.
listens to this show.
But the
Hayden Sherman.
Yeah.
I don't. Who does the paneling? Would it be the letterer? I'm not sure how that works.
the artist.
Is it? Yeah. Well, the letterer, I guess. Just
No, the artist does all the paneling.
captioning and everything.
Yeah, the letterer does the
Regardless, Hayden
captioning
Sherman's-
over all the art.
Hayden Sherman's paneling. Fucking
It
insane.
was like Javier Rodriguez on the Defenders book.
But again, yeah, Hayden Sherman's. No, the writing and the art, fantastic. But man, the fucking paneling really stands out to me. And then just the fact that it's so easy to like this Diana, and it's so easy to root for her, and she's badass.
She's a bad.
If we're going by the, should we apply the what's in my mouth rating scale to everything we review, which is a three scale. It's I'll eat your ass,
Well, I don't
which
think.
is number one.
Yeah, I don't know if we want to say that we would eat absolute Wonder Woman ass.
Because then that's a whole different category.
Then you're getting into different.
That's definitely
stuff.
a video somewhere, and I don't want to.
So-
I don't want to infringe on their money.
Yeah, right. So no, I think again our
We're not gonna do eat my ass. I was kidding.
yeah, no, I know. I think our three books that we're doing.
Yeah, go ahead.
I'm still not totally sold on Superman, but last issue, which the next one comes out next week, in 2 days. So we'll talk about it next week. But I've been more intrigued by the last issue. So I'm Absolute Superman is growing on me. Absolute Batman, I was hooked from the moment from go.
Yeah.
This
yeah, right.
which is funny because when I first heard about it and saw the whole like axe thing, I was like, that's fucking stupid.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
Anyway,
Wonder Woman, I
um,
didn't get to read it until we had already read
Superman.
Batman 1 and 2 and Superman. So it was like, by the time I found Wonder Woman, I had built it up so much in my head.
And it delivered, man.
It has. I love it.
Yeah.
It's
Delivered so far.
Batman and Wonder Woman are right up there. Superman is growing on me. Go
Can I
ahead.
suggest to you a new
Hobby?
coming into 2025? Yeah. Get the fuck out.
Get out of here.
A new 3-tier rating scale for.
Oh,
reviews.
yes.
Eat Your Ass is exclusive to Eat
Sure.
Your Ass and Boo Fuck You. But Boo Fuck You makes a return. But I say to you, if we really, really like something,
Brilliant!
Cool.
if it's like kind of in the middle,
Boring!
and yeah, if we hate it,
Ew, fuck you!
I'd say sloppy should be kind of bad.
Sloppy.
you don't want to give him any credit, do you?
What?
You don't want to have heel versus babyface be a part of this? I agree. Yeah, we'll go brilliant.
But yeah,
we'll go
like,
we'll go brilliant.
yeah,
we'll
somebody
go-
yelling boring at you is way more
Sloppy.
rude than somebody offhandedly sloppy.
Also, Wonder Woman.
Am I the Messiah? I don't know. I could be. I'm not ruling it out.
Off panel, off topic with Jake and Tyler.